we head on further into the night on Game 2 between Machi Esports and Megabank Beyond Gaming. Game 1, Megabank Beyond Gaming had a pretty easy draft to roll things down, but before we go deeper into the analysis, a big thank you to our sponsors, CTBC Bank, China Airlines, Chunghwa Telecom, and Caliber coming in here. Coming back into the series, Nightstar, I've got to ask, but Game 1 didn't really showcase what Machi could do. It seemed like they were very limited in draft, and I've got to ask you, what can they do to get out of this bind?
First off, we're going to see a side swap. They're headed over to the blue side, which gives them that opportunity to pick up Viego themselves. I would expect that Megabank Beyond Gaming go ahead ban it away, but if it does go through, you know, you're going to be able to snap it up. Adds a lot more scaling, still has that skirmish potential, and then it comes down to, well, take a look at that Ziggs pick, because a lot of the stuff that they tried to do just couldn't be fully achieved because of the Ziggs sitting in the mid lane, just non-stop clearing waves.
All right, we'll see if they go for those two picks in the draft phase itself. I want to mention that in Megabank Beyond Gaming's loss to Hong Kong Attitude, it was also the Viego snowball that kind of did it for that team. So maybe we're seeing a trend right here. I'm pretty sure postseason, all major regions were pretty familiar with this Viego pick, and there honestly is just no answer. I don't think I've seen anyone like come up with a very convincing game on how to shut down a Viego in a team fight. Do you have some? What would you? What would your insights be on how to go up against a Viego comp?
Remove it from the game.
Okay, ban it. There we go. Yeah. I like that answer. It's a very honest answer. We'll see if Megabank Beyond Gaming do it.
I mean, it's possible you
it's
just
pretty
play
obvious that
Mordekaiser.
Machi are going for the same bans.
You could just play Mordekaiser, and like whenever you see the Viego, you just immediately ult it to prevent it from getting resets. That's one way to try and actually remove it in-game besides the ban phase, but yeah, for the most part, once one kill comes down, it's just so difficult to deal with because of just how loaded the fact that he heals, he also has invincibility frames, and then it resets his ult. Like, it's just too loaded.
Definitely feels that way. Diana being the ban, so leaving Ziggs and Viego on the table. Machi will at least secure one.
Megabank,
but they could also just first pick Lee Sin.
Yeah. It could also be a first pick Camille, you know? It's not outside the realm.
Oh, no.
Okay. You know, at least it has a little bit more wave clear than the Rise.
That's true.
Has a little bit more dual potential as well, so you're able to it's a lot better version of Twisted Fate, in my opinion. Just has a shorter range when it comes to the ult, but Megabank Beyond Gaming, they're going to change things up as well. This is a pick that Dago has favored over the Ziggs more often than not with this Varus. Gives them a lot more flexibility as where his build path is going to go. And you do have decent range to compete with the Ziggs.
All right, we'll see how this matchup goes here. I think we can tell from the drafting phase that Megabank Beyond Gaming, they're really not afraid of anything coming out of the bot lane for Machi. But on the other side, whenever you see strong picks like the Ziggs or Aphelios go over to Dago, you just feel like the game's already over. So that's kind of a mismatch in terms of the bot lane power strength coming here. Machi, like you said, still going to go for the Lee Sin and most likely the Camille. I'm getting deja vu from this draft. I'm sorry.
You know, Machi, they're a very honest team at least, you know? They know what they want, and they will go ahead and just pick them up regardless of the situation. They don't really think about what's happening over on the other side. And they play for comfort, and sometimes comfort is good, and other times comfort is, well, sometimes you get nerfed out of the meta. But at the very least, some of these champs are still kind of relevant, and it will be Orianna to come out here for Megabank Beyond Gaming. Yeah, still very strong team fight power coming in from Mega Bank Beyond Gaming, and at the very least, because of this Rise pick, you've added a little bit more team fighting to your own composition.
Up, I guess it's Scissor Thigh Lady Ride or Die coming in from Machi here. Mega Bank Beyond Gaming, they have an arsenal. Machi, they have a rock. And they love their rock. They're going to hold their rock dear and close and tight to them, and they're going to use that rock to smash themselves probably into the lower bracket, if I'm completely honest here. But we'll see how this goes. Machi, once again, 1-3-1. Same picks, same tempo. Okay, well, we'll see how if it works out, but it's really hard for me to feel optimistic about this one. Mega Bank Beyond Gaming are going to have to select their top laner and most likely their jungler at this point. Volibear does have slight flex potential. Don't really expect to see it here. Yeah, you're not going to Draven. Doggo just having some fun, making his name known here. Jax was a counter last time around. Fiora is still available, and they will go for the Jax once more.
Going to hold on to last pick here for Kino. I mean, it makes sense here because Jax, you already know the matchup is that Camille, and depending on what the overall composition is from Machi, you could perhaps go for something more spicy like a Rakan pick here. But
Rakan would be pretty nice. I like the idea of Rakan. AoE, pick potential.
Yep.
Wow, you called it, man. That was such a good call out. Oh.
It looks like Koala is the one that wants to get his hands onto this pick. And because of the Ashe, it will help prop up his laning phase. For Mega Bank Beyond Gaming, what do they answer back with? If it's Leona, you know, I'm already out. I'm out. If it's Nautilus, I'm out. I'm out of here. Good luck,
You're out of here because...
Good luck, Chloe.
Well, it is going to be a Leona. Are you okay? What's happening in Night Star Land? You've got to explain to our viewers.
You saved counter pick for a Leona. Thank you. It's not too bad. I mean, it's into a Rakan. You're going to be able to stun the Rakan when he runs in. So the idea that makes sense is just, you know, why save counter pick if it's not going to be spicy?
Hey,
where's my spice?
You know why? Because they don't need it. That's the
Where's my
answer.
Nico? Just throw in the random Nico.
Their soul lanes. Nah, I don't want the Nico. I've seen the Nico. I'm not a fan of the Nico. It was pretty bad. It was
not it.
Yeah. Oh. I don't mind the Leona. Like, what's so bad about the Leona?
Fine.
Like,
I just wanted something a little.
They had the counter pick, but they didn't need it.
Yeah.
All right. True. When a casual walk in the park is gonna do it, do you really need to like be breakdancing on stage and stuff like that? I don't think so. I feel like Mega Bank Beyond Gaming just once again had a very solid draft. And 1-3-1 for Machi. On the other hand, you have counters that take away side lanes and strong lane matchups across the board.
Yeah, overall, you're gonna have a very solid.
I also want to mention
fighting.
Machi barely pack any AoE.
Yeah, it's very they've got a little bit of AoE when it comes to poke damage from the Ashe, a little bit from the Rise as well. But it's just going to come down to G-Man. When it comes to these team fights, he's really the only person you need to watch for when it comes to damage output. Yes, Lee Kai's going to do some nice things towards the later portions of the game, but when it's those second and third dragon fights, it's all about G-Man here. So as we head on to the Rift for game number 2, can Machi bring it back? I feel like it's still no, but at least it's a better look.
I think this is really a thought experiment. How far can you go in the PCS if you only run one composition? Machi's trying to answer that question for us. So, you know, I'm on their side in this one. I want to know as well. As we're going to take a look at the runes here. Once again, Conqueror is coming up for Jax. PTA on the Volibear. And also we do have a grass coming in from Camille here. No, not going for the conquerors, just the grasp. I've seen this a little bit more in this matchup, particularly.
Mm-hmm. And it just helps you with the sustain factor. Gets you a little bit more durable as well, and more importantly, top lane still not looking to get extra flashy with the extra ignite. And in this bottom lane, both AD carries actually going for cleanse here. So playing really safe.
There's a large amount of stuns on both sides.
Oh yeah, plenty of lockdown coming in from both sides here. Heal not going to be as helpful, especially when, especially with the playstyle of Machi. They want to just non-stop look for picks, regardless of the situation. Really, even I feel like even when they do pick more team fight focused compositions, this team is just built for picks.
Coming in. Both supports opening up on the opposing AD carries. Does take a little bit more damage, but it doesn't really amount to much here as we have Gemini with the Raptor start straight towards the top side. This time around, though, Leon seems to have a much better laning phase here in the top lane. It's going to get the push early on with a bit of CS lead. Last time around, it was pretty much all Lee Kai all the way in terms of the early lane. And we do see Gemini trying to focus and get that advantage against the Jax earlier on. Another great two-man knockup. Doggo has to use the cleanse to get away from the ignite. Does walk out of the slow. Now Atlan has to flash away, and the last auto attack goes back in. Kino finds the kill here, despite what looked like a pretty good start from Koala.
It did look like a good start, but there's just a little bit more trade power here coming in from the Leona in that 1v1, and Alan, he tries to chase for it and just takes a little bit too much, and Doggo flashes forward to secure himself that kill. Probably definitely unnecessary, not probably unnecessary, definitely unnecessary, but at least he gets 400 gold, and that'll definitely make this lane a little bit more uncomfortable. When it comes to matchups, this is just a big matchup in favor of Mega Bank Beyond Gaming. Similar to what we saw yesterday in Unified Timing over Woody and Lil V, but it's going to be pretty similar results.
Felt like Atlan was trying to over chase because he thought the slow was still on Doggo. Wasn't really the case after the cleanse, and he actually just takes 3 auto attacks for nothing in that trade. Liang does spot out Gemini earlier on, so he will be able to get out of this full awareness. Does take the Q2, but it doesn't matter that much as we have Kino here to make sure that the Jax can get the TP towards the top lane. Gemini's not going to hang around, though. Take a look if Leon decides to walk up top. There's no way, right? Okay, he finally does use a TP. I'm like, that's playing it way too safe. That's like even past Hanabi levels of safeness there. So, yeah, he does finally take the TP towards top with the extra Dorn's Blade coming into lane.
I mean, if you watch the previous game, Liang's not going to be the one to wait around. He's just going to go. Whether or not it's the best decision, he's going to greed for his lane, and you know what? It's going to have its highs, but definitely also have its lows.
Wow, Malwan actually having a really good laning phase. I'm sorry, G-Mian having a good laning phase against what is normally thought of as a counter in the Orianna. Now I'm going to come back and will get traded quite heavily upon. Both top laners have already expended their TPs. But Leon getting caught inside a minion wave definitely takes the worst side of that trade. Usha is here, however, spotted out by Gemini, as we do have the question mark things coming down. So Lee Kai will play very safe. In the meantime, Gemini a step ahead of the play. They got the free Infernal Drake early on, a very comfortable build. And I do want to point out, Gemini is going to go for a double Ruby Crystal back. Okay.
Yeah, Gore Drinker does build out of 2 Ruby Crystals, and I suppose the extra durability is gonna help him with playmaking, but definitely lacks on the damage department for sure.
Yeah, interesting. You know, not trying to go for a cooldown or anything like that. Let's go for max HP at the moment. Usha gonna go top lane. And I think the two junglers are about to run into each other. Gemini down a level at this point, but he does know where Husha is on the map. We see the pings coming down here. Let's see if he tries to take the fight, or at least the smite. Ooh, Husha will take that one away from Gemini and make his escape route. Gemini's still trying to follow him here, though, and at least take away the fruit. He is full, but he will still take that one away. And he does have the inside track coming in from Jimian as well, so Husha with the lead, not going to chase him. And meanwhile, in the bottom lane, even though early death to Atlan, he's still holding up okay in terms of the CS department. Koala still screaming his head off, though.
CS isn't going to be a big issue here, of course, with the tier stacking up on the other side. It doesn't exactly give you a whole lot of battle stats. And we are going to see Merc Treads completed by Jimian, so prioritizing moving around on the map as much as possible. Also has the water walking rune, so
he wants
to make a play.
It's about 300 damage from Gemini, but trades it back quite evenly, and because Jimian isn't on the map yet, nothing's going to come of that. We have a really slow early game, just a single kill from the bot side 2v2 coming out here. I do want to ask you about the mid game. What do you think this landscape is going to look like when everyone gets their ultimates?
Once ultimates come through here, it's going to be Pig City. You've got these AD carry ults all both online, and especially when it comes to setting up for, well, we have Rift Herald in 30 seconds, and then there's also Dragon in 3 minutes. It's just really all about these AD carries. Who do they pull the trigger on? And I mean, yes, these solo laners, Liang in the top lane and Li Kai as well on this Camille, they want to start kind of ramping up, opening up space in these solo lanes. I just don't know if it'll happen with how much pick power is available on both teams.
Right, seems like finds the first shot is going to be the name of the game here. Both of the teams, like you mentioned, a lot of catch potential, a lot of burst potential, honestly. And we do have Gemini hanging on the map for a very long time. He is already down a back compared to Husha at this point, and we actually still see pings going on to Herald, so could be a risky tempo play developing. In the meantime, Kino also heading into the top lane. Camille still has not figured this out, so Li Kai could be in danger as Atlan just straight up drops an arrow. Malan gets out of the situation quite easily. Decent attempt here. Rakan was also in position to catch up onto that one, but Malan was paying attention.
Yeah, I do like these attempts coming in from Ashe players, just tossing out your arrow. If you're not going to be looking to use it in that bottom lane, you might as well just burn it early on and get the cooldown back for the next play. But top side,
now we have the Hextech ultimated coming down onto Liang, but he does make it back to his tower and trades back quite favorably against the Camille. Now the entire team from Beyond Gaming is coming to this top lane. Can they get away from Husha? Sky Splitter is dropped. Hookshot interrupted. Li Kai blue smited, and the ultimate comes down from Husha. Stormbringer taking out the tower and the second kill for Beyond Gaming. But Dago is caught in transition. One auto attack away from death. He survives! Malan, in the nick of time, helps his AD carry. He had to flash for that one, but it was well worth it.
Keeps his AD carry alive there, and what a play coming in from Megabank Beyond Gaming. They're able to find the chase, shut Li Kai down this time around. And Liang, he's going to be very happy with how this play has transpired. Being able to get a lead in. Okay, we see the replay here. This is, pretty decisive coming in from the side of Machi, and they really tried for this kill. Unfortunately, just the smallest of margins.
Just taking the rumble.
Yeah.
Actually decides to chase on foot afterwards. But Machi does find the tempo lead now because of the death reset constellation prize to take away the first Herald of the game. In the meantime, bot lane has been free shove for both teams, actually. Ashe got a free shove, and now it's Dago's turn to also get some free time with the tower. Where do you want to see this Herald being dropped here on the side of Machi?
It really just comes down to trying to get more gold into Li Kai. It could be investment into the Rise, that's probably ideal, and the fact that he's really your only team fight damage when it comes to 2 and 3 items. The Ashe comes on more as a utility champion until very late, where she does become a bit of a powerhouse, but not to the same degree as a lot of other AD carries. And it will be Dragon secured by BYG, and that's really nice because it is Cloud and there's a lot of pick ultimates available on both teams, so you know, having the extra cooldown is going to help generate more picks for Mega Bank Beyond Gaming.
I definitely see that as the case here. So we are going to have a Mountain Soul once more, preventing a lot of that burst potential from either side. Quite useful. Soul.
Top lane.
Herald is still going to be held on by Gemini. He is spotted out. Just gonna pop it over the wall. Let's see if he can actually find the gank here. Does tack onto the Q1, but the TPs are flushing in. Will be a 3v3 with Usha coming here as well. It looks like the fight will dissipate. Leon trying to chase in with the Shockwave. Does find Gemini, and the burst damage is too high. I was about to eat my words as I saw Gemini still on the sliver of health, but not going to happen for him. Very unfortunate. Didn't have an escape plan after Busha cut them off. Doggo with the instant cleanse. That was beautiful to watch.
The old Captain Jack strikes again.
Trying to get something back. G-Man now coming in, but Likai dodges out on the Stormbringer. He doesn't have enough HP to get out, and Liang does get the triumph. He's coming back for this rise. Can G-Man find the damage? But Busha is body blocking perfectly, and they both survive here. Another favorable trade for Beyond Gaming. Atlan will find 1 kill. Can he find the second? Onto Doggo. Doggo knows he's dead, walks back for the trade, but doesn't find the auto attack. That's a 2-kill advantage to Machi.
And very unexpected. We get a 2v2 kill in this bottom lane, but it's not BYG that finds it. It's actually the side of Machi. And we're going to see how it ends up resulting here, as it does look like Doggo thought about going for the recall, but decides that they want to stick around and okay.
Misses everything.
All right, Kino, not the move, and that's incredibly costly because I don't think he was able to proc Aftershock, and the extra resistances made a big difference in that trade.
Yeah, that was a huge swing for Machi here, and this is something I want to remind people of, but when Machi played Beyond Gaming, overall, Atlan actually had the higher KDA. It might seem very absurd to conventional wisdom, because we all know Doggo is a lot better as an AD carry. Oh. Do get the stun onto the Doggo here. And again, he's down. Atlan getting his revenge.
Doggo, Kino, they understood that jungler was going to be playing for top side, so they try and go ahead, take away the Krug camp, or not the Krug, but the Gromp there, but now
goes in again. We have the stun down onto Mawan. He barely gets out of dodge, and now Liang is going to join the team fight. Koala going very low, but still will survive by the skin of his teeth. Sky Splitter, doesn't land onto Koala. Manages to walk away. In the meantime, we do have Machi taking down the first tower in the bottom side, so a lot of gold on this Ashe, and just look at her. She's very close to second items by 15 minutes already.
Yeah, how's the shield boat completed now? Hushia's going to secure this blue buff, though, and go on his merry way. And the thing is, even though the Ashe is very far ahead in comparison to the Bears, it's still an Ashe. It's still on hit, and it could still be problematic because of the fact that, well, Machi, they don't have a really good front-to-back composition, which is exactly what a champion like Ashe would love to have when it comes to these fights, and so you're still kind of stuck on a facilitating role rather than the main carry role.
For sure. No, I would say it never hurts to be fed.
Oh, yeah.
I think Machi definitely have a lot more damage potential compared to their game one draft, at least in this one. Taking a look at the silence right here, Liang having a much better time compared to game 1, and I think that could be a breaking point this time around for Megabank Beyond Gaming. Having that Jax being able to split push early is massively favorable for them, and we also have Husha super fed 2-1 and 2 with a 150 gold bounty heading towards the top side. That does seem like the next point of contention for Beyond Gaming.
Yeah, and now Mythics are in here. Malan with the Ludens, Husha with the Divine Sunder. Husha is actually incredibly strong. 2-0-2. Another
arrow coming in. Ooh, barely misses on Mawan. They could have potentially made a 3-man play onto that one. Trying to stay safe, maybe. Now we'll find the tower in the top side. And second Drake does go over to Machi. So we are seeing Machi starting to clamp down on this bottom side, really, with how strong Atlan is right now on the map.
And I love the fact that Atlan is just so willing to use these ultimates, knowing that the cooldown isn't that long when it comes to the Ash arrow. Just constantly tossing it out, it really puts Megabank Beyond Gaming on edge. They can't ever really relax and sit still, even hide around these corners, because there could just be an Ash arrow.
Gemini, Dago was not window shopping though, so he does spot out the Lee Sin. And I want to follow up on your point. I actually think Atlan is playing this Ash a lot better than Doggo played it a couple weeks earlier. You know, he was very reserved with the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, and that's not the way you should do it. You should definitely be firing it off cooldown. You should be keeping your enemy on edge. And Machi, even with the gold deficit, has been able to push Beyond Gaming back multiple times just with the threat of that ability. Looks like there will be a contest for the Herald here as Husha makes his way into the river. He's getting sped up by the Orianna. They're trying to find an angle onto this objective. Shelly has her back turned to Husha. Husha in smite distance now. There will be a smite fight on the left side, and
Jimian's
trying to do the wraparound. Well, let's see if the flank works out here.
Arrow goes wide.
Hits absolutely no one, but Dago misses as well. Two fights developing on both ends of the river here. Liang going to go up onto Gemini. The smite is being hustled away. Husha picks up the Herald at the end, but the Realm Morph will catch out Liang. Liang dies. Atlan on a killing spree. And Beyond Gaming, a lot of low health members. They have to run away here with Machi taking the top tower most likely.
And while Megabank Beyond Gaming do secure themselves the Rift Herald, this is of course after turret plates have fallen, and it doesn't come cheap. They have to expend a lot of cooldowns, a lot of flashes burned there, and I don't think this is worth it unless if they are able to play around the Jax. As you see the replay, it is just a two front war with Aman, Dago, and Kino taking a losing trade, and because of that losing trade, Machi are able to just push on to the other front. And yeah, unless they're able to get this Rift Herald down for Liang and really accelerate his side lane threat potential, I don't know if the cost was worth the value.
All right, we'll see if Beyond Gaming can come back onto that one. That was a pretty rough team fight for them, honestly. They missed two ultimates on the right side of the fight, instantly had to back out, and Liang was just like, well, I guess I'm dead here.
No.
Stuck in no man's land. We have Gemini coming in, but loses out on the smite. Husha trying to open things up. So if we're taking stock about this game compared to the last one, I would say that the mid lane's a lot stronger coming in from Machi, but this time around, Liang is also a lot stronger for Megabank Beyond Gaming. See how that evens out when it comes to the 5v5s.
Yeah, and I think Machi's chances in the 5v5s just have gone up tremendously in this game number 2 over game number 1, because you do have just so much more damage coming in from both the Rise and the Ashe when it comes to team fight settings. You don't have to really pigeonhole yourself in forcing a pick onto a champion like Liang. However, at the same time, Liang, this time he gets the airspace to try and set up for a 1-3-1 or a 1-4 possibility here.
It's going to go in. Liang is waiting right in the corner, but the arrow comes in. It does find behind Husha. He's just gonna fall immediately. Actually takes the Stormbringer out with the extra HP, stays alive, but Jimian on the flip side does catch out Liang once more. This Jax cannot catch a break. Machi now hurting Beyond Gaming away from their own bot side. That was two sides trying to set a trap on each other, but the one with the arrow help, the artillery support, definitely comes out ahead.
The one with longer range on their AD carry ult that pays off, and Atlan on this Ashe pick has been so absolutely instrumental to Machi's success in game number 2. And Doggo, well, surprisingly enough, even though we tout him as the much better AD carry in this matchup, he hasn't been able to find too much impact yet so far. Of course, he's very close to the Muramata transformation, so that's going to help out considerably when it comes to amping up his damage numbers. Gets the transformation right there, and they are also going to start out the dragon.
Very important one to break the chain coming in from Machi. Machi already had the previous 2 Drakes. This would put them on soul point. And
it
Drake resets. We haven't engaged on the left side though, and Mawan does find a kill onto Likai. Likai doesn't even get the flash after that one. Great CC chain. Beyond Gaming are going to take this one without a contest.
Really nice secure coming in from Beyond Gaming as they're able to play that fight perfectly. Likai gets a little bit too antsy, encroaches just a little bit too close, and instantly Doggo lands the ultimate. They expend, I believe, both the Varus arrow or Varus ult and the shockwave on that play as we get to take a look at the replay here. Likai coming in, thought he was on the flank, but unfortunately the flank was on him. And he just gets instantly blown up. That makes this dragon pretty easy to secure, as there's just no fight really left for the side of Machi. Again, while they do pack more damage, they still don't have a front line. The last game, they did have a better front line in the Leona, but this time around, they're stuck with Rakan and Lee Sin, who are not really champions that are going to sit in front of your Rise and Ashe.
If they want to go, they have to go in all at once, because none of these targets can live through Focus Fire. They just instantly evaporate from Mega Bank Beyond Gaming. Kind of have to bum rush your opponent in a situation like this. We are going to go back onto the map with exactly even gold, but with Gemini setting up a play up onto Doggo. Doggo does still have his Flash and Cleanse. Not going to be that easy, but he does go forward, and Doggo is still going to get caught, though. Multiple angles do Machi converge on. They're going to get 2, both going to Atlan. Arrow out on top of Husha. Just sending him a message right there. Machi with a great pick. This is what they needed to play for. This is what they set up for, and they executed beautifully.
You know, I think I figured out what the game plan is from Machi. It's really just to bully Doggo as much as possible. You saw in game number 1, even though they had a strong top side, they were still trying to invest a lot of cooldown.
Oh, in comes Husha. Can he find the spike right here? The damage is stopped, but Gemini still gets it in the very end, and Mawan has nowhere to go. Young is just going to keep on pushing for this one. And Machi with the first tangible lead in the game. It was close. It was very dire. But at the end, Gemini, the veteran of Machi, still secures the objective.
Yeah, Liang able to secure that tier 2 in that bot lane, but that's not going to be good enough here as Machi overall went out in the gold trade. Teleport coming into bot lane. Try and chase.
Can Liang dodge away from this one? Hookshot incoming. Has to flash. But that should be all as he leap strikes away at the very end too. I think the tables have definitely changed right here with that Baron buff. The siege is on. Beyond Gaming have nowhere to turn. They have to take Machi head on now.
And with the missing flashes on both of these top laners, they can definitely set up for a possible pick. G-Man, level 14 now, has a little bit extra range when it comes to that ultimate. Will be able to rotate a lot faster than before. And Machi, this is a much better look for them. However, can they close it out? There is still decent amounts of wave clear coming in from Mega Bank Beyond Gaming, and they're really gonna just have to find that game clinching arrow, really, from Atlan.
we do have Liang in the side lanes here, so it is possible for Atlan to just fire that arrow and get a 5v4. Liang's going to take a while to rotate over, especially if he uses his TP. That's still 6 seconds, and more than enough time for Gemini to finish off any target here. So we'll pay close attention to if Machi do decide to converge on some of these towers. At this point, Jimian is much stronger than Mawan. Should be able to just walk up here if he so chooses to. Mawan with the range, playing very carefully. He's aware of the Death Brush possibility. But in comes Koala, trying to chase down for the kill. It will get the Banshee's Veil, but nothing else. Tower does go down here, and once again, Machi are just going to keep this 1-3-1 going. This is their most comfortable composition. There's not much that Beyond Gaming can do. That's already 2 towers going down, a lot of gold going to the other side. 1,700 gold in total as Koala take a huge chunk of damage from Husha. Not going to matter, though. And it seems like that's about as far as Machi can really push things at this point. But it's still a pretty good find. 5,000 gold on the Baron buff.
Yeah, usually with your first Baron, especially so early in the game, you're just looking to crack all the tier 2s, and they were able to accomplish that. Stripping all of those away and expanding their gold lead to now 5,000. Maoan's possibly in trouble. He's low on mana.
Yeah, and he's still trying to wave clear. All the abilities were spent. Jimian not going to try and cut him off, though. And that is a smart move, as Husha is right around the corner. Jimian with some interesting senses there. I definitely knew that it was not time to contest this. In the meantime, his team is going to get more resources on the bottom side. And Leon gets spotted up, but should be fine. Oh, the arrow does land. Koala goes onto him, and he doesn't have a flash. The quickness comes down. Leon will get away, but is just getting chased down. Like, I love the way that they're playing this one. Very short cooldowns across the board on the side of Machi. They're just going to do this over and over again. Let's see if Koala gets caught. Take a arrow to the knee, but he's fine.
Big power has been pretty strong coming in from this bot lane duo from Machi. And it's resulted in a lot of advantages. That time, unfortunately, they weren't able to burn anything extra onto Liang, whether it was the ultimate or anything else. And yeah, so Machi going to sit around just a little bit here. I'm not expecting a whole lot to happen, as the big objective is 4 minutes from now with that Mountain Soul coming up. There is Baron coming up in 100 seconds, but I would say that if Machi can get it for free, they will try to do so, but they're not going to expend too much to try and risk the toss back over into the hands of Beyond Gaming.
So the way I look at this next fight is if Liang is still pushing in the bot lane and Machi are in position with vision on Baron, I think they instantly turn and just win the fight. I don't even think it's going to be that difficult.
No, it's just a force to teleport.
Frankly, yes. Ooh. Yeah, we do have a catch here onto Liang. He's got nowhere to go. He jumps onto Atlan. But Atlan with Immortal Shield Bow, he's very healthy right now. He's not going to burn anything. They just take him down like that. Mawan also had to flash too. So Machi actually winning out on both sides of the map without any use of summoners. Wow, that was very surprising.
Yeah, and there you have it. Just low effort, but high reward there coming in for the side of Machi, able to get the pick onto Liang and also burn the flash onto the Orianna. And Kino forced to use the ultimate to disengage. Atlan will use the cleanse at the very least, but at this point in game, like, Atlan's starting to get scary. Once he hits that 4 or 5 items, he is going to be a massive threat. And it does look like he is pathing towards the GA, so having the extra life here to buy even more time is... right now, you do have to favor the persistent damage coming in from this AD carry mid lane duo over the side of Mega Bank Beyond Gaming, because Doggo is on the lethality Varus. Doesn't quite pack as much of a punch once the fight does get fully committed to.
For sure. So we see Machi now charging down mid. They could just unleash the arrow at any moment right now. And Beyond Gaming, they seem like they've just realized that and said, well, can't really stand in no man's land here. They're going to retreat into their own jungle where there is a bit more cover. And, you know, talking about the build here from Adlin, he has a lot of sustain. It's not easy to kill a guy that has those Runan Hurricane Bolts. And once again, they open up onto Leon, this time just burning his flash for, honestly, just no price here. Machi going to continue to snowball on the bottom side of the map. And there is a hit squad coming for them, but a little bit too far away from them.
Young just having a lot of difficulties in this series so far. In 2 games, he got really shut down a lot during a lot of focus in game number 1. And game number 2, he's just been constantly getting caught out by these arrows. And that time as well, he's just forced to burn summoners really for no reason. Just caught out way too far. And the interesting thing here coming in from Doggo's build is the fact that he has gone for the Serpent's Fang, which, I mean, in isolation, the build's fine. It's just the fact that because there's so much catch potential, you would think.
Ooh, Husha is going to be opened up to her. Here comes the TP and the realm. Or can Husha actually escape this one? He gets the stun before Lika can actually get the hook shot here. Hino now is the target. Maoan is trying to save him. He gets slowed down and the precision protocol comes down. Liang also has to burn his TP. A very short range TP at that. And it does look like the Mountain Soul will be picked up by Machi after that one.
Mountain Soul picked up here pretty much shuts down Doggo's effectiveness in this entire game. He is building towards the Last Whisperer item, so going towards that Sorelda's Grudge, but Maoan, he's not really close to that Void Staff at all. He does have a blue potion, blue elixir to try and just amp up his damage numbers just a little bit.
Machi are going to make a catch and at least force Megabank Beyond Gaming to retreat away from their mid lane tower.
Oh,
we have the arrow going down onto Husha once more, but he's a tanky bear. He can't take that damage. Liang, on the other hand, I'm not so sure about his survivability, as he does use the counter strike plus the ultimate. Will get out, but Gemini is still circling around. He has the Dragon's Rage, and in comes Kimo into the back line. They're going to try and force away Jimian, but Jimian has too much burst damage, and the Stasis too. He outduels Doggo. There's already 2 down for Megabank Beyond Gaming. Machi looking to get their first win against BYG this entire split, and in comes the chase down. Atlan with the slows, and the Machi emotes are shown where my Machi's at. And Machi X gonna go straight for the base at this point. Nobody to defend. 44 seconds on Liang. This should be the game.
And what do you know? They find that final pick here that breaks the camel's back. They find a very clean ace, and Machi, they managed to strike back. Megabank Beyond Gaming, there's definitely a need to be some big changes coming into game number 3. Machi's drafted an honest game, but Megabank Beyond Gaming didn't have the answers.
I'm so happy for Machi Esports here. It's taken them 5 weeks, but they have finally now found a win against Megabank Beyond Gaming. Honestly, I didn't think the draft changed that much. I still didn't really like the draft all that much, to be perfectly frank here. But the bot lane definitely stepped up here. We're going to go more into that as we take a look at the replay. Liang was the first target open up here. And we have Beyond Gaming going on the right side. As we see, Jimian on this rise just is on a different level compared to his Twisted Fate in game 1. Oof. Goodbye, Doggo.
He flashes over for that play. Thought he had the burst damage, but again, you are the lethality bears. You don't have that persistent damage to go for a big crit auto in that situation, and the dip into the bush as well, I think, helped out, just cutting off vision for that brief moment. And G-Man, he just comes out on top. Doggo, not a good performance at all in this game. Had a rough lane into Atlan Koala, and he was never able to find purchase with this lethality build as well. They never had pre-fight setups around objectives to actually get poked out.
There's so many great picks coming out from Machi to just halt the tempo and again. And the bot lane that we were talking about, it's partly on Dako, but I'll be completely honest, like Kino whiffing a Solar Flare plus Zenith Blade right in front of an AD carry probably didn't help. that was the start of the 2v2 kill, which was you know, I'll be honest, like Kino, definitely did not get a dad buff this split. I felt like it's hard. Being a dad is definitely difficult. I think they're gonna put him back in the freezer and just put him on Braum duty.
You know, the fewer skill shots, the better.
Yeah.
Because the Nautilus performance this split, I will also say, has not been the greatest. He has been stuck in a lot of these situations where he ends up being out of position. Sometimes it's to try and take the fall for his squad, but a lot of times it's unnecessary. And Liang's performance also has to come under question. Do they bring in PK to just have the stability up in the top side? Just say, hey, you're on Hanabi duty. You're just going to play back away from your tower. We don't need you to carry. We're going to throw more resources into making sure Doggo's comfortable, because right now Doggo's come under fire and Liang, he's not performing up to par as well.
Yeah, it does feel like Mega Big Beyond Gaming are starting to show cracks across this ship. You know, they're leaking from all different angles. Mawan had a very quiet game. Missed crucial ultimates. Even though Liang is on a counter pick, I think you say Lee Kai actually outplayed him both times. He did have a lot of help from Gemini for sure, but in terms of raw impact, this Jax is not getting split pushing done. It's just not happening against 131.
Yep.
And then bot lane, you have some pretty bad trades coming out from Kino, so I'm not so sure anymore. I had Megabank Beyond Gaming probably just cruising through this series, especially after the 2 games of draft. I still maintain that I think they just have much stronger drafting phases in general. Machi haven't really pivoted. But in terms of the execution from the players on the day, even Atlan is showing up, and he takes down an MVP, 6-1 and 9. Cold face killer coming into this series.
An absolute sharpshooter here in this game, as he just landed arrow after arrow, and even the ones he missed, like, you just apply constant pressure onto the other team, knowing that arrows are coming at you off of cooldown. He's not going to wait to hold on to them. It's just really well done, and these are the Ashe performances that we need to see, just like in general. That, like, players that pick up this champion just have to fire it on cooldown.
Yeah, you definitely want to do that, and what a turn of events here. All the casters, especially on the Chinese side, were saying there's no chance of Machi make it through. The bot lane is just too much of a gap. Well, this time around, Doggo and Kino, they got hard gap. So we'll see in Game 3 if this continues, or is the higher seed going to prevail against the Machi onslaught.